Hello and welcome to Wisdom Check. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7 days a week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 158 of our check, and yesterday we looked at why life is like a triangle. Today and throughout the remainder of this week, we will be presenting a series of short wisdom stories. If you missed any of our days of Wisdom Check, please go to wisdom-check.com to listen to them or to read the daily journal. We are recording this podcast at our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. This episode will be released on Thursday when Paula and I will be on our 7-day podcasting cruise. This week while we are out at sea, I have a series of podcasts covering some short stories about wisdom without a lot of additional commentary to them. And once we get back from the cruise, we will remain at camp for a few days and dive back into our commentary about the book of Proverbs. On today's hike, we want to hike on the money trail, as we see the value of life is not diminished regardless of its condition. So today's story is Life is Like Money. You probably wonder how life is like money relates to. It is not about having a significant amount of money, and it isn't about having a big bank account either so that you can have whatever you want. It is about having value beyond what is crumpled and wrinkled. Instead, life is like money because unless it is destroyed by fire, it always has a value no matter how crumpled it is, used, or if it's stained with coffee or even magic markers or crayons when used by children thinking that it's something to draw on. And life is like money because you still have value no matter how many times you have been downtrodden or how often you have failed in your attempts to excel at a certain sports or how many times you have failed to succeed in starting a successful business. Who you are matters more. The bright spot here is that your value does not come from what you have or what you own or how many homes that you have around the world or any of these materialistic things. Your value is who you are, not what you have. You can even have value behind bars. Even if somebody is in prison for committing crimes against humanity, it does not lessen their value at all. To me, it doesn't matter what criminal activity brings a person to prison, but it is more about the value of the person within. A lot of prisoners, even when they are released, they wear the stigma of being a convict for the rest of their lives because they saw no value in themselves. Even failure does not diminish value. Many people who have failed often devalue themselves, thinking that their failure demonstrated that they should never think of having more than that they've had in the past. Unfortunately, these people do not learn. The most valuable lesson here is that failures are the best teachers. The point is to learn from the mistakes that we make. Take out what you've done right, and then incorporate that into your planning and thinking for your next business or life event. I remember a story of a guy who started some pre-cooked meal business, hoping to move away from the current job that he really hated. When the business did not produce the results that he wanted, he just plain and simple gave up trying, or even thinking about another business he could start that would move him to where he wanted to be. Would you say that this person devalued their ability to succeed? I would think they must have. So let's see beyond the present. On the other hand, I know many people that have started out in business on a very small scale, and while their first few years did not produce a huge profit or barely covered their cost, they kept on learning from their mistakes and moving forward with better products and services until they succeeded. Most friends that want to move beyond working for someone else have learned that determination and the stick-to-it strategy paid off, even though many times are tough. In this case, they valued themselves and their abilities and saw beyond their current situation, even though success came only in very small increments, as it usually does. Real value is established through living to the fullest. We have to keep in mind that the value is in the person. The value is in the quest to move beyond that which comes easy. The value is who you are through the hard times. The value is also who you become when you surpass your own expectations. We all need to keep this in mind. So do you want to be more like money, that you have value no matter what your condition is? Even if you're still unconvinced of your value after this, realize that in God's sight that you are more valuable than any other part of creation. Luke 12 verses 6 and 7 tells us, "What is the price of 5 sparrows? 2 copper coins. Yet God does not forget a single one of them. The very hairs on your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid, you are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows." And tying it back to yesterday's lesson about worry, Luke 12 verses 23 through 25 tells us, "For life is more than food, and your body is more than clothing. Look at the ravens. They don't plant or harvest or store food in barns, for God feeds them. And you are far more valuable to Him than any birds. Can all your worries add a single moment to your life?" So today we looked at why life is like money and that the value remains regardless of its current conditions. While we should all strive to improve and bring value to others, that does not change our value as a person. The lessons that we can learn from each other are also very valuable. So encourage your friends and family to join us each day, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. And we'll continue on for the next few days to explore some more short wisdom stories. And that'll finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom at wisdom-trek.com or subscribe at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, YouTube, or Google Play so that the episodes will be downloaded to you automatically each day. Please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them. Invite them to come along with us. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through this Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.